Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, ES pretty much balanced within a range, and at this point, heading into the open, we have pre-market support at 49.5 to 51.5. Holding above that zone tells us that buyers can still be active in this market, but overall, the range breakout is really going to define which side is more in control in the short term, because the overnight session is very two-sided. So if we break below 49.5 to 51.5, that would confirm sellers in control, and that could lead to a move down into the 43 to 45.5 support, where responsive buyers can be active on first test. And then if we fail at the initial support zone, then that would be indicative of a bigger picture change potentially in trend, and that would bring the 36 to 38 zone into play. Buyers can still be active there on first test, because if we really zoom out, bigger picture, we're still in an uptrend. So as we move lower, buyers can still be active on first test of each support zone on the way down. So heading into the open, the 49.5 to 51.5 can be used as the micro bull bear zone. If we're holding above it, then we know that buyers are still active in this market, and if we break below that zone, then that could result in short-term liquidation down to 43 to 45.5, with potential to go down to 36 to 38, depending on the level of volume and momentum behind the move. On the upside, a breakout above 57 to 59 would confirm buyers gaining control again, and that could lead to a move higher into the 66 quarter to 68 quarter initial resistance. Now, given the recent weakness, first test of resistance can also attract sellers, and we can get some rotation off of that zone. So if you're long, certainly makes sense to take profit at 66 quarter to 68 quarter, but depending on the level of momentum and how strong the markets are across the board, initial resistance can still be a good short setup, and whether it develops into a much larger short is something that we'll have to gauge in real time. But the minimum expectation is to get at least some level of rotation and pause at initial resistance, and then the reaction at that zone is going to tell us whether we're back into that bullish mode in the market where we can even go up to the highs or make new highs, or if we're still balancing and a bit more undecided. So that initial resistance zone is an important inflection point. Above that, in the event that we break above it, the 71.75 to 73.75 is a good spot to short the market. It's the top of the recent balance, and first time up, very likely that we will get at the very minimum some profit taking up there, and that can turn into a pretty decent short for a move back down into at least the 66 to 68 area, and potentially even back down towards the 60 to 62 area. So those are really the main ideas heading into the open. So we're just going to watch, are the buyers holding ES above 49.5, 51.5, above the previous VPOC of 52.75. If the markets are holding above it, then we know that there is some level of stability here, and it can lead to an upside break. But on the upside, 57 to 59 is resistance until broken. At this point, it's been tested several times overnight, and the overnight session was very much range bound. So the next time we go up, it may not hold anymore, but that is the key zone heading into the open. On the upside, 57, 59, and then bottom of range, 49.5, 51.5, and then if we break below 49.5, 51.5, and then hold below that zone, which means that we can't just poke below and then pop right back up. It has to be a ideally a wider range bar that breaks that zone. Then that would confirm the sell side in control and bring the 43 to 45.5 into play, with potential for 36, 38. But we just have to realize that those support zones are valid below, and because the bigger picture is still bullish, buyers can still enter on first test of every zone. So that's something we'll have to gauge in real time. So those are our main thoughts heading into the open. Let's see if the buyers can hold ES above 49.5 to 51.5. That'll give us an idea of which side's in control, and we'll take it from there.